And now to our commentary. Let's find out what our commentators think about this week's election. We asked Lars and David, what lessons can we take away from this week's Oregon primary?
Straight talk from the left and from the right.
The first lesson of the May primary comes from who ran and who did not. The Republican Party didn't have any formal candidates for Attorney General and State Treasurer. When a party can't field a candidate in two major races, it says a lot about the potential for conservatives to seek statewide office. Oregonians chose Ellen Rosenblum for the Attorney General, and while she may face a write-in candidate in November, it's interesting that this is a judge who has set terrible sex offenders free and whose biggest campaign contributions came from the drug legalization crowd. Enough said about the top law enforcer in the state. In Portland, choosing between three equally liberal candidates, voters rejected the woman whose claims of founding a major business were found to be untrue, and now they'll see a runoff in the fall between Hales and Smith for mayor, both of whom support many of the policies that have created a business-unfriendly environment in the Rose City. Around the state, Josephine County voters rejected law enforcement funding, and that's going to free convicted criminals and leave the county with a one-man sheriff's department. In Medford, voters rejected two different measures to guarantee citizen property rights against the depredations of an overreaching state land use system that has devastated Oregon's economy. And turnout was lower than ever, putting the lie to the claim that mailing ballots to people ensures a high turnout.
Now, straight talk from the left.
Last Tuesday, after a long, expensive, widely debated race for mayor of Portland, we learned again what actually counts in Portland politics: feet on the street, and making voters think you know where you're going. In a sharp change from early expectations, the biggest spending candidate, Eileen Brady, did not qualify for the November runoff. Voters saw lots of her commercials, but weren't quite sure what they meant. By contrast, former City Commissioner Charlie Hales talked about how the city worked, which, after 8 years of Tom Potter and Sam Adams, was something voters were eager to hear. And for the last year, every Portland event was decorated by a crowd of volunteers in red Hales t-shirts. Meanwhile, State Representative Jefferson Smith, trailing in early polls, mobilized his troops, offshoots of the Oregon Bus Project, and surged to a strong second-place finish. Smith's people also had something to talk about: an outsider candidacy, a challenge on issues like the Columbia River crossing. Portland is set up for a lively, productive race this fall, and we've learned once again that candidates can indeed spend millions. But in Portland, voters are persuaded one by one.